Hey, what is going on? What's good? Welcome to the podcast. Episode 17, season 1 of the Correctly Mistaken podcast. I'm your host, Osei, alongside my man, Hunchy. What up, baby?
What's good, brother?
Man. We are live from a land where there's several things that we can start with, but I'm going to start here. Where you can rev up conspiracies, rev them up to the highest and say, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna stop the pedophiles. We're gonna shut everything down. But we're live from a land where, at the end of the day, power is power, and you ain't going. And it don't matter what party you on, what side you on, you can protect the power. So we live from a land where you rev up a conspiracy theory as much as you have with Jeffrey Epstein, and then you make a 180. And this may be the thing, Punch, which is, I mean, it's funny how we always say we get caught up in culture wars and not the actual policy and how the right tends to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting that this culture war may literally dismantle MAGA. I mean, are you seeing the the backlash? Are you seeing what they are up in? It's like 11, 12. They are up and on from Andrew Schultz, from all these pods I've been seeing all day today.
Andrew Schultz is a right winger.
Uh, well, he did vote for Trump, I believe. Um,
Oh.
and you remember he was on there. He did. And because in 2024, that bro, I guess they call it the bro spear or whatever.
Manosphere.
Manosphere, that's it. They did vote. And they did vote. I think he did. He voted for Trump. But now as you see, the thing that's killing them is this Jeffrey Epstein, not the big beautiful bill, not the signal chat, giving national security secrets out to everybody.
Yeah.
Not just Iran strikes where we're just striking a country, a sovereign country that
Not
did
the
not
tariffs
attack us.
ever going into existence.
Not the tariffs that keep coming and then they go away.
Going, you know.
Those don't matter. Paying higher prices don't matter. What will possibly shut this whole thing down is because they're doing a 180 on a conspiracy that they said when they got into power, because of the deep state, they couldn't get in. They were trying to fight the deep state. But when they get into power, they would dismantle the deep state, release the Jeffrey Epstein list, and set us free and bring out to the light all the pedophiles that they said that from both directors of the FBI, from Cash Patel to the director and the deputy director Dan Bongino. These dudes were podcasters before they got into power.
Damn, Gino's a loser.
He is a loser. You see his clip for just pushing conspiracy theories, and now it's like, nah, man, the guy it was a suicide, man. It
We're working really hard in the FBI. I get there every day at 7 a.m.
sounds
He's
just
a loser, man.
he is. And the thing is, he has a bunch of losers just all through his cabinet. But the fact of the matter is, that was the scheme, that was the plan. And you see it now with these guys that get in that office and they realize, oh shit, like people in government do some really, really fucked up stuff. Like, but if we expose it, we expose power, and we can expose power. And then you hear what the right was saying. Well, if it wasn't, because somebody asked me the other day, well, if it wasn't about Biden, Biden was president, and why he didn't release the Jeffrey Epstein files. I said, well,
He's
very
one of
simple.
them.
Yeah, he don't want to implicate Bill Clinton, probably.
He's one of them. like, he is the
Say that.
establishment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can say that and be like, and
Yeah.
be in a cult and be like, well, I don't know. I don't know why they won't release it. I don't know why Trump's not releasing the Epstein files where you hear on tape and, Jeffrey Epstein saying he was close to Trump for 10 years. He's on the flight logs. The man is clearly on the tape. And the fact of the matter is they're covering it up. And what's happening is, everybody knows because even when Pam Bondi were really guilty when she said, remember, I have the Epstein files are on my desk and I'm reviewing them right now. To her saying, when I meant review, what I meant was it was on my desk and I was reviewing it. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I was reviewing it. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. They had all them. They had all them influencers come to the White House and they handed them packets.
Hold up the pack. Yeah, remember that? Hold them up. It was nothing but what they already knew.
Yeah, it was already what it was the stuff they knew.
And those same influencers now are pissed off from Jeff Zobiak to Matt Walsh to Charlie Kirk. I just want to know how they go. Well, they're already trying to spin it. And what's making me laugh so much is you're hearing all the calls from the right, from um, resign, paying Bondi to resign. Like, hold on, why? This man is just almost like, I mean, not almost. They call him Teflon Don. It's like, dude, how the hell are you calling for her to resign where she literally serves at the pleasure of the president? Why do you think the Epstein files aren't coming out when they said they was? Because they found out, oh shit, uh, he's on them and Trump's on them and Clinton. 'Cause this is the thing too, because you'll say, well, remember what they said earlier, we want to expose the Clintons. So the thing is, if you got the information to expose the Clintons, why are you holding it? Why you? I mean, it doesn't make. Are you defending the Clintons paying Bondi?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? And the fact of the matter is, bro, see what's going on. All these culture wars, shit, a lot of culture war things that they bred the right, from CRT to trans issues. What was the one? The drag queens. What was the thing that really the right uses to really get people in the uproar? It's children. Because they'll say they're going after your children. The trans, they're attacking your children. They're going after your children. You know, the CRT. They're trying to indoctrinate your children. Your children,
Oh.
your children. So you hear on these Epstein files clearly children, young underage girls being molested and pedophiles. And now you're going to 180 and you're not going to let it out when you have revved up your base to a fever pitch about the deep state and going after these pedophiles and this cabal. And now you say, oh, nothing to see here. And on top of that, you see the distraction that they try to do today with the Title IX. With
Not a,
Pam Bondi and Linda McMahon, who everybody knows Linda McMahon
yeah.
from the WWE.
Yeah.
Very important, from the WWE, who happens to be our Secretary of Education. Okay? I mean, let's just say that again. The
And
former
she's also a
CEO of the
dumbass.
WWE, the, the former CEO of the WWE, a wrestling, fake wrestling. No, we love it. I love me
Hold
some
on.
wrestling, but
Hold
we
on
know
now.
it's all theater.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
All
all,
that
I want to say
theater.
fake.
We gotta chill on the fake part, bro.
Oh, how about this? Now it's not fake.
Professional wrestling.
The actual physicality is not fake. I
Yeah,
agree.
like we gotta chill on the
And you know
fake
what? You're
wrestling
right. Let me take it back. I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Storylines,
Yeah.
the storylines are, but what they do to their bodies is legit, and they put their
That's a
bodies
real
through
sport
some
right
real stuff. So,
there.
man, shout out to all the wrestlers, man.
Shout
We
out
got
to
you
the
right,
real
because
wrestlers.
when we mean fake, we got to have context in terms of the storylines.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
fictional.
fictional. You know what? You're right. Not even fake. It's
It's
fictional.
fictional.
My apologies, everybody.
It's art.
It is art. You are correct, yo. My bad, yo. It's fake. You was like, you're fake. You was like, nah, man. Come on,
Man,
Wes.
hold on. Yeah, chill on that, man.
Wes. Come on, man. What you talking about, man? It's fake, bro. You can't be doing that,
Yeah,
man.
we can't do that, man.
But so it's like, so today they announced some Title IX because of that one girl that was transgender in California, I believe.
Yeah.
They're
It was
like
like
suing.
swimmer
Yeah, I know it was a track runner. She was
or
16 years old,
track
a track runner. And they came out today announcing her and Pam Bondi did some video announcing they're suing California, and you should have saw the comments. It was like, oh, from their base. Oh, well, how about you save us from it? How about you save these kids from the Epstein files? How about you save the young victims? Well, oh, distraction,
Oh,
anyone?
it didn't distract MAGA?
Yeah, bro.
Not for a
That's
second.
happening, man. Alex Jones, they came out, they're like, yo, even Real America's Voice, listening to some of their podcasts today, they're like, yo, okay, because that, and they announced that investigation on Brennan and Comey, just trying to give
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're doing anything right now.
anything to try to distract from the fact that they thought, because this is what they thought. They thought that their base, as we have kept telling them, they think you're stupid. They think you're so dense, that you're so short-sighted, that you're such a have an attention span of a young toddler, that they can literally say, you know what, throw this out here and think there's gonna be no backlash. And they figuring out it is. And it's weird, man. You're seeing MAGA people like, yo, this is the reason why I'm done with Trump. I'm like, what? You're done with Trump because of that? Now, obviously, there's a good reason if he's in it, like if he's in the
Yeah,
Trump.
it's a good
It's a good
reason.
reason. But it's just funny, all this shit that has happened.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's good. No, me making America great again. But you know, all right? This right here, nah. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, bro. I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, is something that really gonna bring them down? And it might be because this time they thought their supporters were stupid. And supporters are saying, yo, they're like, one guy said, my eyes have been open. I'm like, the dude literally like fired a bunch of people and cut back programs and literally just took $900 billion from Medicaid. And you're like, now the line has been crossed. It's like, whoa, culture
That's
war,
because
bro.
it doesn't take any education to know that it's wrong, right?
Say that again.
Yeah, it doesn't take any education to know that it's wrong. Like
Ooh, wait.
the necessary the fun thing is that they do care about kids, and everybody in MAGA isn't a bad person.
No.
We vote with everybody establishes that.
Yeah.
But to know how the deficit's going to affect you, to know how losing $1 trillion in Medicaid is going to affect you, you know how work requirements going to affect you, it may take a little bit of education. But
Exactly. You gotta like open a book.
yeah, you might have to open a book, but you know when a kid's being abused, it's just
No
wrong.
pedophiles is yeah. Yep.
Now the thing about it is that the worst thing about it is that MAGA thought that the administration's corruption wouldn't extend to them.
Mm,
And they're like almost exclusively the victim
yeah.
of the corruption.
Yeah,
Right? So
they
so
are the
they think,
marks.
huh?
They are the marks.
They are the marks. They think they're getting something with the big beautiful bill, right? When they're the ones that lose the hardest. Right? There's more white people in rural communities, right? Like there's as
And
we
they
say,
were so
there's a ton
pressed
of poor
crazy
white
because
people.
of undocuments were getting about it. And their issue that the right push is because undocuments were getting health care. That means we all gotta lose our health care. And that's the same
It's
shit they done for years.
they're willing for 1.5 million undocumented immigrants. For them not to get health care, they're willing to kick 12 to 17 million people off of health care.
And you know what the funny thing is about, once again, when going back to what you said about no education. If you do, because there is a fact that undocumented migrants do receive some form of Medicaid. It's like 1.3 million of them, but
Yeah.
have a difference between the actual federal
Federal
and the
funds, the
state.
state funds.
And some states have decided to expand
Yeah.
the funding for even undocumented. Some states have done that, and they're like,
States' rights.
which they are such a component of. And
Right?
now it is, and even Scott Jennings, they are getting it, and they even told me yesterday, no, it's the states that some expand, and when they, and then Michael said, "Well, no, the thing is, they're using the federal funds. They're thinking they're saying the state, but actually, you, well, how do you know that? But that's, I mean, it's a good, you
But
can
let's
pick
just
it
say they
up.
are scamming. Let's just say they scamming as the state. States' rights.
State, right? Who
Why
cares,
doesn't the
right?
federal government take it up with the state?
Like, okay, if you're so mad about it, who cares? The state's paying for it, not you. And I would say states were paying for the undocumented migrants. They're expanding, and they use that as a way to say, no, no, no. It's the federal, and it wasn't. But once again, when you have such an effective messaging apparatus as they do, they're able to
I'll never
piss enough
understand
people.
that the messaging apparatus for getting rid of healthcare, but like
Because what they said was very simple. They said because it's remember what they said. It's waste fraud. It's white with race waste. There's just waste everywhere, which is so funny. If the issue was waste, right? Because I don't know if you knew this part of the bill as well. If the issue was waste, how come would they make? How come in the bill they put a $50 billion
provision.
for funding of rural hospitals? Like, why would you have to do that? You know
Why did they have to buy Susan Collins for 2 years?
you mean you talking about
Not Susan Collins, the Murkowski.
Murkowski?
Yeah, Murkowski. Why they have to buy Murkowski for 2 years?
That's what I'm saying.
If it was waste, fraud, and abuse.
That's exactly why they had to give us some goodies if it's so much waste, because it wasn't. And once again, now there is waste in Medicaid. I think it said the last number I read was 4% of most Medicaid federal funding is waste and fraud. 4%. And what the Republicans have always done, what drives me mad, and they convince so many people that it's the way to go, is that they will say, well, because we got this 4% fraud, man, we got to look at this whole thing. And they'll gut the whole thing for the 4%. They'll gut it. They'll sit there and gut, and they'll go with the macro. But then when it's time to say, let's say, oh, let's do Medicare for all. Let's Then they'll go micro. Well, how are we going to pay for it? They just flip whenever it is, because whatever they got to figure the talking point, like with Zoran Mondami, it's always because of the fact, it's not the fact about his policies, is they're not even talking about his policies. They're trying to hit the fact that he's anti-Israel. No, he's really anti-genocide, but he's anti-Israel. And that's what and they act like that's working. It's dead with the Democratic voter base. Israel, the whole thing with Israel is done.
Dead with both bases.
It has turned, and yet, and with the Republican Party, the base, yes.
It's
You
dead with both
got
bases.
politicians that are like, oh, no, they're our special ally. Like, man,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And if you can't see me, y'all, I put my middle finger up. F off. That that's what they're literally, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and last night, man, he was on there. Like, I don't know if you watched Newsnight last night. Did you watch
I
Newsnight?
did.
Oh, the man, I told you, the man who's the one of the bane of my existence. When I saw him on there,
Reggie Torres,
oh my god,
largest contributor is APAC. I
oh,
hope he's ready. I hope he is ready. And look, she asked the question. I didn't know he was openly gay.
yeah, he is gay.
All right.
Yeah, he's openly gay.
But he gotta go.
This is the thing.
He
That's
gotta
great
go.
that you're gay, okay, bro. It don't mean, you see. That's the thing that people drive me crazy.
I know
Because
I
they'll
know gay
say,
Republicans that vote for Trump.
yeah, somebody's gay. Oh, they're clearly progressive. What is that? What? Because they're
No,
gay?
not at all.
I mean,
Not at all.
that's how we conflate stuff sometimes. They be like, oh, well, remember she said, oh, Anna Navarro said it. She said it. She was like, hold on, you're a Latino openly gay. When did you become the establishment? What? So clearly, basically saying that if he can't be establishment if he is gay, as if
You
that
can
is
look at their donors. If you are establishment, APAC is donated to you.
perfect.
And
Perfect.
it's
That's perfectly put. Perfectly put.
APAC is his largest contributor.
He saw what he said the other. He saw what the issue is why they want to primary me, and he called him Mickey Mouse. Called the Democratic Socialist Party the Mickey Mouse. Just
Yeah, and
talking
he's not
trash.
Cuomo or Crawley.
He's Richie Torres, and you see him
Yeah.
today. He's out today. Was on the street trying to tape himself on the streets of the Bronx, talking about. Because if you're singing, dude, I don't know if you're singing this. People are trying to emulate Zoran so much. Like when he goes through the city doing his little camp, when he's talking and he's walking through the city in the morning time, you got some dude that's some pro some pro landlord doing the same thing, trying to go around the city because they're just trying to copycat this dude. This dude has quelled something, I'm with you, bro. I think you said this maybe a couple episodes ago, and I believe this is where we're going. I think it's going to get to a point where we're going to have the MAGA over here. The MAGA has taken over the Republican Party, and I think what's getting ready to happen with the Democrat Party is about to be taken over by Democratic socialists, and we about to have.
You have to swing the party left. That's the
You
only
got
way
to.
you can play the game. No establishment Democrat. Well, let me not say no, because in the congressional districts and maybe some Senate seats, depending on where they're from,
Hmm.
um, the Democratic establishment will exist, but it's not going to. You can't win no national races with an
It's to the point.
establishment.
It's going to be just how Trump is,
It
how
has to be.
how MAGA is with
We
Trump. You,
will
you and I.
primary because the attitude that the progressive wing of the Democratic Party has is the same one MAGA has. We are the same people on two different sides
Just
of the fence.
radicalized on two different ways.
That's it. One
Hmm.
side is educated, the other side is not. That's literally the difference,
Yep.
right?
And educated and takes the time to even get information.
Yeah. And there's if you do not, because Trump is the blueprint, right? No matter what anybody likes to say about it, he ran on a an economic agenda, a populist agenda,
They
right?
always.
He's a person that you believe is going to do what he says he's going to do. That's the reason why he got back in. It's
Yep.
not because he's great at being president. It's because when that man say I'm a do tariffs, he gonna do tariffs. He gonna talk. He gonna enact it. You know what I'm saying? He gonna executive order everything. He
Hmm.
got his people on. He got the Supreme Court. He's going to do it. So now, if you don't emulate that as a politician, the party's done with you. We will primary you. That's why Hakeem Jeffries is in trouble.
It's like to the point where if you are, I like how Mac is. If you ain't for Trump,
If
fuck
you
out.
if you're not a progressive, y'all can go start your
If
own
you're not
party.
for the
This is
working
no longer.
class, yeah, you don't fuck
And
working class.
it's a movement of people. So like it doesn't matter how many of the corporations. There's a blueprint for grassroots efforts to win the Democratic Party. Everybody in America, like almost 90% of us, think it's too expensive to live here.
Or the working families party. Right? That shout out to them. They like they make us.
Right?
I think Zoran Madami is associated out with them too as well. I think they're part of the working families party. So which is based out of New York City. So like you said, it's definitely a term.
When you have an actual message, grassroots campaigning works.
Yes, and when you
You
focus on
can't you can't tell me come and tell me, hey, look, we're gonna keep everything the same, and it's gonna be good for you.
and that's what they do now. That's all mainstream media. That's all the corporate Democrats. That's all they tell you. And then you think about it. Everybody in mainstream media, from Jake Tapper to Dana Bash to uh, um, Joe Scarborough, me, all these people who are telling you everything's fine, they're making 10, $15 million a year because it is profitable to them to to maintain the status quo. It's proper. They're a corporation. Corporations like corporate tax rates cuts. You know what I'm saying? So they can even get more money and more bonuses. You know what I'm saying? So after that, like you said, you're so right, man, and it's telling you, hey, everything's okay. Status quo is good. Like the other day, did you hear Joe Scarborough ask Tom, I think it's Tom Suzuki, whatever his name. He's a Democratic congressman out of New York. He says the three most, Joe Scarborough said the three most impactful people. I think he said impactful or something else, but in your party are, the mayoral candidate. He wouldn't even say his name. Bernie Sanders and AOC. Then he literally asked the question. This is what I know. This is what's happening now. This is so like a breath of fresh air. He's like, no, how can where are the moderates in the party like yourself that can bring that type of that can galvanize the party like that? And I'm yelling at the TV. There is none. There is no moderate that's going to energize the Democratic base at all.
On
None.
any side.
Zero. Anytime, any day, any night. any year, any month, any what leap year. It, in this state of politics now we are in, no moderate, no moderate can galvanize the party as those. And you know why those three are? Because all those three do is talk about working class policies. That is it. If you notice,
And they're out in working class
and they're
communities.
outing all the time.
They're not raised doing fundraiser dinners,
No,
right? They're not, and that's the thing is that it won't work on either side, which is, I feel like it's like a gumbo of shit that's about to happen because when the policies go into effect and then they realize that Trump sold them out, right? Like, so what we're dealing with in the Democratic Party is that we realize that the Democrats sold us out. That's why no moderate Democrat, no establishment Democrat is
go.
is
Got it.
is a viable candidate because we know they sold us out.
Sold
The
it.
other thing is that the MAGA Republicans also feel the same way. I'm not talking about the actual people in office, but
Voters.
the voters. They feel sold out by their party,
The Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein situation.
especially because of the Jeffrey Epstein. It was like that's the little the you promised to give us all these things. You came out and you're gonna protect kids in sports or girls in sports, so you get rid of transgender is no longer a thing. You keeping men out of women's bathrooms. You're getting the schools to be able to teach parents' choice, but you can't give us the which should be the
Mm-hmm.
easiest win because whether or not you want to admit it, all of those uh all of those institutions are serving at the pleasure of the president.
Mm-hmm.
The
All of
FBI, the whole justice system, the whole Justice Department is serving at the pleasure of the president. And if it's the case, why is if these people weren't guilty, why is Ghislaine Maxwell still in jail?
it. Right? Why did she go to? Why did she get a 20 year?
Why was Epstein ever in jail? So we know it's true. And you hold every lever of government, the Supreme, you hold the courts,
Mm-hmm.
you hold Congress, the Justice Department talks sworn fealty to you on television, and all of a sudden it's gone.
And this might be the one that actually cracks through and makes people think, is Trump full of shit?
Yeah, he sold us out.
And what's so crazy about it? Why this is something that's even more effective? Because right now we have this current Democratic leadership, and you know the way they set up the big beautiful bill, as he calls it, or the big beautiful act, because Chuck Schumer got that out of there. It's just called the big
Uh,
bill, the big bill act. We got it's nothing beautiful about it. So he actually tweeted that was a accomplishment, whatever. But the way they set it up, if you realize how they did this, is most of the cuts are not going to take place till after the midterms.
no.
So they did that because of the fact that they also believe once again that their messaging is effective. They said right now, American people, this bill has passed, but they're not going to feel anything, and they're not going to feel definitely anything after the midterm. So their plan is, well, after the midterm comes, and then we're pretty much going to usually the party who's in power, they usually get smoked, especially what's going on here. They usually get smoked. Coming in, the next midterms, they lose a lot of seats, but they're hoping to at least make it as low as possible. So if Republicans or Democrats are running against them during the campaign about the big beautiful bill, they're like, what are you talking about? You ever lost any Medicaid? Has anybody lost Medicaid? Has Medicaid been cut yet? Have you lost your Medicaid? Because they set this thing up to happen really after the midterms. So then when all falls apart and shit hits the fan, guess what they're gonna do? They're just gonna blame Democrats. And because Democrats are so weak and feckless and they don't know how to message anything, and Chuck Schumer's gonna be like, they're gonna sit there and usually take the brunt of it. Because of the fact of the matter is they're not going to be able to use they're not going to be able to, because sadly, because the way they have shown me, I was like, those little evil genius motherfucker Republicans that sit back here and do that. That's some bro. Like that is some evil, cynical that crap that they did right there, man. To set the
Well,
cuts up to after the midterms to really start hitting.
you remember yesterday they asked Shermichael on why they do that. If they were good cuts, why'd they wait till after the midterms? And he said, well, you got to give your time, the local governments time to set up systems to like handle the paperwork that's going to come through and all that, right? I know he's full of shit, right? But let's play be the devil's advocate
Let's
and
do it. Let's
say,
do it. 'Cause, I
let's
mean,
just say
I
that's
saw
what
his
they did it
point.
for.
I did see his point when he
Yeah,
was
let's just say that's what they did it
Sure,
for.
Michael is good. If you notice Sure Michael, he's really
Is he? Do
trying
you
to
think
find.
so?
Well, he's trying to find other arguments to talk about and not focus on what Abby just asked him. He would go like somewhere else with it. Abby was like, "Well, hold on. What about that? He does it all the time, and Scott Jennings does it too because they can't answer the question. They gotta shoot it to somewhere else. But go ahead. It's amazing how they do that.
Um, yeah, but like let's just say uh it is for that reason,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um the the Republicans, or better yet, I there's going to be so much backlash from all the other things. Like if your local state government doesn't have anything set up in those 2 years, backlash, right? Like, but
Mm-hmm.
my issue isn't with the Republicans. It's the idea that the Democrats don't know how to message,
Crazy.
right? It's not that they don't know how to message.
That's what.
It's that they're making a decision
Yes.
not to.
Yes.
They don't want a message,
No.
right? Because instead of looking at it from like everybody says they're two sides of the same coin. They are extensions. They need us in these situations
Hmm.
to stay in power,
Yeah.
right? They need the Republican Party as an enemy so that we do not hold them accountable for the fuck shit they do.
Yep.
That's not a messaging problem. They're not saying anything on purpose,
Mm.
right? Like they're not trying to message,
No. No,
which
it's
is
not.
why when you get an actual message, they win,
An
right?
actual message. Yep.
With Zoran has an actual message,
Yep.
whether it'll work or not, whether he'll get it all of it approved or not, because he's gonna have to fight other establishment Democrats in New York to
You're gonna
get
shut
the things that he wants. Whether
house.
that works or not,
Yeah.
he had a message that was geared towards the people. What's gonna happen is that there's gonna be an absolute collapse of uh the Republican Party. I believe after the midterms.
I think the Republican Party, I mean, it's collapsed for MAGA. I mean, you talking
No,
about MAGA
that's what I'm saying.
collapse.
I think the Republican Party. I think there's a viable route for multiple parties for more than a two-party system here, right?
Hmm.
And this is what I think the next 4 years is going to look like because I think everybody has realized that the Democrats, just like the Republicans are good at messaging because when people are struggling, it's easy to like if you could find a boogeyman, it's easy to appease to most people's the worst part of them, right? Like you need someone to blame. So I can make it the immigrants' fault or the transgender fault or the liberal teacher's fault, right? But when everything collapses, they're gonna officially kick the Republicans out. MAGA's gonna want to primary all the Republicans that don't do what they want, but MAGA primaries candidates don't win.
No, they don't win general elections. They don't.
They do they
They
do
have no
not
idea.
win,
They have They don't have any idea.
right?
You know, they just talk Trump, deep state, fake news.
And honestly, that's why there has to be, and I said this in several podcasts, there has to be an war in the Democratic Party. We we have to purge the Democratic Party
But
of the establishment.
I feel this is another like in terms of the Jeffrey Epstein and why it makes MAGA look Trump and MAGA being revolt and all that. But I do believe in terms of the Democrats, it's exposing the Democrats the Democratic Party or the Democrat Party because of the fact you have told us all the time, no matter what, when a candidate wins, that maybe that people didn't come out and vote for, or a candidate wins the primary that people weren't really fired up about, or you're not excited about. What do they tell us? Vote blue, no matter who. It don't matter what it is. Vote blue. And now, as I said last week, this is a gentleman that won the primary in the Democratic Party. It wasn't no working families. It wasn't no independent. It wasn't the Green Party. He won it. And when you have told us to vote blue no matter who, that means no matter who the candidate is, if he won a Democratic primary, the establishment automatically backs him. It does not matter. The D triple C, the DNC, they all fall and back whoever candidate won. But for some kind of reason, they can't find it to go for this one. Even your boy Meeks, he was on the CNN the other day saying, "Well, I wonder. We'll have to see." And then I love it on the comment. The minute he said something, it was a clip that was on Threads. Basically, he couldn't. Basically, they're asking all the Democrats are they going to endorse him. And see, that's what's pissing me off about them too. You're giving mainstream media a fucking story. You're giving them a story to feed on to show, oh, the Democrats are fighting. Oh, well, no, the establishment is fighting. The
I mean, but I think it's
establishment.
a good. I think it's a good story to have. I think it should be promoted. I think that the fight should be public. The purge should be public, right? If Richie Torres has the cojones to call it a Mickey Mouse race when
But
he
see,
gets primary,
what they're going to do is we're making bad about the media because you're right. You're right. But they're not going to frame it as if, oh, the progressives are taking over the party, or they're really trying to the working class people. They're coming. They're coming. They're going to frame it as disarray in the Democratic Party.
but you realize that like part of the reason why we're on this podcast is because we're new media, right?
New media.
The yeah, new media. The media isn't reaching what's going to be the largest block in the Democratic Party.
And
So
it's
it doesn't matter what story they tell. Kids, these young kids, people our age and down, are only interested in fighting,
that's it in social
right?
justice and
They don't. They
economic
have.
justice.
They
Yep,
have no need for decorum
yep, nothing.
because their whole political life has been absent of it. Our age and up can say, "Oh, I remember." You know what I'm saying? When the presidents didn't talk shit about the other
Because
president.
if you're 25 years old, Donald Trump came into power when you were 15.
Yes, right before you could vote.
You were 10. You were if you're 20, you were 10.
So their politics have been absent of decorum. Their representatives
That is such an
cannot
excellent
have
point.
decorum.
That is a
You have
excellent
to
point.
almost hate the opposition, right? And we can understand that we're not going to get violent about it, but we cannot do oh, we just need to conversate and understand the other side. And because the younger generation, including us down, we know it failed us, right?
Decorum has
We
failed
we,
us.
we know the norm has failed us.
Yep, the
The
norm.
people, the Gen Z, Gen A, are looking back at us and telling us, y'all accepted too much.
Yeah,
And all they know of politics is Trump.
that's an excellent
And
point.
at the very least, the man's a fighter. The man's talking his shit all the time. The man is
Like, why
absent
can't
of
we not
decorum.
do that for the stuff that we believe in? Why can't we talk shit? And why can't we come back at
Why can't we
mad
executive
about the stuff
order
that we
everything?
believe?
Why can't we pack the courts?
Yeah,
It's been their only example.
why can't we?
They're only
Now
interested
this dude is in
in
here
the
doing whatever
fight.
the fuck he wants. Why can't we just go ahead and start doing
Yeah.
executive orders, doing whatever we want? Why not?
They have to like we and they don't their source of information is not the news,
No.
right? And that's the thing. They're gonna the establishment thinks that oh we just gotta get on we gotta get on Instagram more.
Well, did you hear what Richie Torres said about that when he was saying, well, think about, what really it wasn't really the policies, more it was the media that the reason why what happened was Zoran Mondami. He did like basically trying to say he did a real good job on social media. Once again, low key insulting people and saying, "Well, look, as long as the social media reel looks cool, we vote for him." Not as if that this guy was pressing policies over and
Or
over.
he didn't have 50,000 volunteers.
Come on, man. Oh, so that's all because he has nice Instagram reels.
That's because he can make a good TikTok.
It's just crazy,
And that's the thing. They
crazy.
really think it's true. We'll just throw some money at it. We'll get some
Yes,
consultants.
yes. They really think
All
that.
of the American people
It's
are
gotta get media.
done.
It's gotta get better reels. It's gotta
So
get
the
better
worst
reels.
thing that can happen is that when they realize when MAGA realizes that that outside of the culture war, we all want the same thing,
Yeah,
right? Like outside of the culture war. Yeah, you may not be for abortion,
found
but
the title of this episode, yo. Outside of the culture war, we all want the same thing. We
exactly.
all desire and deserve the same things.
And when we get like not even all of MAGA, but a good amount of MAGA to understand that. The Republican Party is done. They are not honest brokers of democracy.
And I will
And,
submit to you,
and
the
neither is the
Democrats.
Democratic Party.
I'll submit to you, they not neither.
Neither is the
If you
Democratic
when you
Party.
when
And
you
we're watching it
cancel
in real time.
primaries in the presidential primary, when you cancel states and just give them all to Biden, that shows you're not for democracy. That shows
Exactly.
that when you literally have mainstream media, when legacy, I'm not saying legacy media, literally you had candidates running for president on the Democratic ticket, and they literally did not say anything to them until they interviewed Dean Phillips after the primary and said, "Well, what was your feelings about it?" And Dean Phillips, to his credit, I've heard him sometimes, he's been totally disillusioned by the establishment because he can't believe he was treated this way. He thought we was really in a democracy. And you can even
No,
hear some of his, he's like, man, the way they
we're a
came at
racket.
me, yeah, you would have thought like, damn, because the Democrat Party really believes in that, next man up. They don't believe in, one thing about Republicans, I give them credit, is whoever's making the most noise, talking the most
They're gonna
shit.
get behind them.
Who's loving them? Get behind them. What? It doesn't matter. And
Because
they,
truthfully, Republicans are all culture, no politics.
and the
They're
thing
all
is, I
culture,
like
no
what you
politics.
said though. It's the culture wars. That is, yo, what did you say? The culture
I
wars
said outside of the culture where we all want the same thing.
outside of, bro. I can't. That's such an accurate man. You on fire tonight, bro. Let's stop that.
They had me angry this week, man. I had to turn the news off this week,
You on
man.
fire tonight,
Because
bro.
I cannot understand why we're acting like they're trying, right? I respect all of Donald Trump's cronies and how he's like iron fisted the goddamn Republican
His
Party.
style, yeah, his style.
And it's like I'm not saying that that's what we need,
No,
right?
no, not
But
being an asshole, but somebody that has that compassion and love. But it's like, yo, I don't give a fuck. You're not getting in my way of doing.
yeah, that's
So
what.
you're
And
just
like
not getting.
I don't need the nice. I don't need polite society,
You think Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema would have got away if they were in Donald Trump's party about them not going with Bill back better? What?
right?
You think two little senators are going to stop my agenda? Oh, it ain't happening.
They'd have been like, I have to resign.
It's going down. And we not you are not coming in and telling. Oh, so you gonna tell me? Because remember they were saying in the bill that passed, that the sentiment was, are you going to be the person that says that votes down Trump's agenda? Like, are you going to be the one to do that? Like, are you sure? And the only guy that's running his mouth about it now, Tillis, is because he's retiring. That pisses me off too about these cats, especially CNN, when they bring him on there in the interview and now they want to talk shit about Trump and clearly understand the fact he's doing it now because he said he's not running for re-election. Like they get so bold, they get so emboldened when they're not running for re-election, not not being convicted in their beliefs and sit there and take it and say, you know what? I fought for my people and I'm running for re-election, Donald Trump.
Because it's
I want
never
you to come and
about service.
I made sure that my people did not lose Medicare. You
It's
want to lose it. Then
it's not
they
because
need to
it's
fix it.
never been about that. It's never been about that,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
If they really thought that they would be held accountable, I sent we sent you to office to fight.
Mm-hmm.
to work to negotiate on our behalf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just resign because you get into a little spat.
Because
If you really believed that you were there for us, you'd be like Massey. You'll go back to his community and be like, I didn't vote for that shit,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm looking out for you
I
guys.
want Medicaid cuts
And guess what? I'm ready to fight for y'all. He go home and win all the time
all the time. He wins all the time
because he actually believed that he was fighting for his constituents. We don't have to agree about it, but that's not what the Democrats are doing either.
because he wasn't adding anything, but he said, "I'm not trying to take nothing from y'all either. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm not gonna
a
I'm not gonna
Medicaid
be
expense.
that guy.
I ain't
And
doing
they
that.
tell him all the time, we're gonna primary you. Bring it.
I don't
They
care
elected me because I'm fighting for these youngins. And they know I'm not going nowhere.
because it's about, like you said, at the end of the day, though, because it's just about their seat and about their power.
And
So
that's what I'm saying. Tom Tillis doesn't have an actual constituency that believes that he's fighting for them.
no, and that's why he wants to leave and say, well, now because he knows. But see, the thing is, people knew. That's why it's crazy how this bill really passed. Because this bill and any
It's
other,
awful.
it not even out of committee. It wouldn't even got through committee. And because of one man and how he has shaped the Republican Party with an iron fist, and it's like, look, you do what I say. That's it. They voted for this atrocity. That's literally going to kill people. And people want to say, well, that's hyperbole. No, it's not. When you strip health care from people, what does that give them? Worse health outcomes. And the worse the health outcome, the bottom line of the worst possible health outcome is you not being here no more. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And there's going to be problems that we can't actually foresee from stripping 17 million people of healthcare. That's not something you can like predict what it looks like when it happens.
and then when you do that, like you say, and big, one thing that happens, you strip people from health care, you take away funding. Most of this medical fund, most of the federal funding for Medicaid helps fund a lot of the rural hospitals. The rural hospitals that are
That
out
pays for jobs.
that pays for jobs. They
That
usually
the cafe is now turned is closed. The tailor, the cleaners,
because they're using
they're
them.
now
But
closed.
that hospital using that rural area is the what? The number one employer in
The
the area.
number one employer, the college researchers, number one employers, the colleges in their communities.
So it's like when you take that away,
And you think that it's gonna wait for they're gonna have to wait.
Republicans
They're gonna wait till 2026 to
never.
change, to make changes, to do their downsizes. Do we think that hospital groups are not gonna anticipate not getting federal funding, so they're gonna close a year early?
That's interesting. But you know what? That's a good point because even though they did push it back, if you know the pending doom is coming, you're just not going to keep going. You
I'm
probably
not gonna wait for it to catch up to me. I'm a business owner. Who does that?
yeah
I'm a consolidate my assets, close this shit down, and go to where I'm getting my money at.
yeah yeah. Especially if you are and you got our hospital system is wrapped on the market. People healthcare system is wrapped in the market, and you got these rural places closing down. These hospitals, like you said, they're going to prepare for it ahead of time. They're going to prepare, and like you said, they're just going to pull out and close.
And it's gonna devastate the community.
They're not going to go to like, all right, here's the last day of the hospital functioning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In
I'm going
case
to
you
do
were
that.
saying, all right,
Yeah.
now we're gonna start closing shit down. Man,
And then,
what?
yeah, that's a good point, man. They're not
That's
doing
not gonna
that.
happen.
Yeah, so you know what but see, I think Republicans haven't even seen that because it's the business that they say that it's so funny.
Well, they know they just can't talk about it.
Like even with corporations, they know these tariffs are bad, but because Trump got them punked, these Republicans are like, "Nah, this is great policy." You know good and well this ain't great. You know good and well. It's just because, like you said, bro, it's like he makes the smartest of people because of the thirst of power to be like, oh, well, no, 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 no. This is fine. This is all right. Tariffs are great. They're not a tax on people. Yes, it is. To the point that you literally will not state facts because you're afraid of an individual. For what? Or I say this, are you afraid of the individual or you support the agenda that he's pushing overall so you're willing to deal with this bullshit that he got going on?
And that's why you have to wonder, always wonder,
Everybody,
are the Republicans really that bad of people? or are they like you got
Republican
to be almost
politicians,
a
yes.
bad person.
Republican politicians, they're awful people.
They
They're,
gotta be. They
the
gotta be. They
politicians,
don't
I
care
told
about
you,
their
they do
constituents.
not give a fuck.
They
If you
do not give a fuck about their
because
constituents.
most of the cuts are taking place in red rural areas where they represent, and they just voted to gut it, and
And,
what makes it so disgusting, they're telling you that they didn't. They
and it
literally
can't go Joe Biden's policies. It's not gonna be that next year. It's going to be them. That's what I'm saying. They're I do not see the Republican Party coming out of this in 4 years. Right? I see
I do
Donald
one
Trump
way. I
trying to
do
cut
one way. I do one way.
how?
If some kind of crazy cockamamie way that this this was just a blimp, this Zoran Mondami, and the establishment entrenches their hold, and we still got Akeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, who are still our leaders. Come that,
This is what I'm saying. This is why I do not believe that's gonna happen.
ugh,
I think Trump tries to consolidate power even more. I think there's going to be a lot of unfavorable rulings in the Supreme Court.
just got one today. Well, no, not a Supreme Court ruling. It's a
Uh,
district. They for the birthright citizenship. They actually got the class action that they needed to do another injunction across the nation.
oh yeah, where it was like, nah, we're not gonna. I'm talking about from the Supreme Court, like their
It,
rulings. It's almost like they're legislating from the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole shadow docket where these things haven't really even made it to the Supreme Court yet, but they're
but
ruling.
one they dropped right. They didn't even look at like the one they
Yeah, like
they
that's how they're doing things. So it's like with that happening, I think he tries to expand powers of the executive office, and what it's going to do while everybody's in pain is it's going to piss off the constituency of the Republican Party.
mm,
I think I think what's that nigga's name? Elon is going to dump a bunch of money into the
oh,
races.
you know, the American Party that he trying to
Yeah,
start.
I think he'll find a moderate that'll pull the Republicans to that party, and a moderate that'll pull some establishment Democrats to that party too. And he'll just dump a bunch of money into it, right? And
Let's
they
all
might
remember.
they might find someone that'll catch fire enough
But
to
let's all
get older
remember though, like
folks.
Elon Musk is not a good actor, people. Okay,
No, he's not. No, he's not.
so
He's trying to destroy American democracy.
it's yeah, he's trying to destroy it. This
Yeah.
American Party, he's just a billionaire pissed off because Trump took out those EV credits out of his thing, messed with his business, and now he mad and he pissed off because he
So
took
now he's telling the truth, though. That's the
yeah,
crazy part.
he took
It's
all
not
that.
like he came out and started telling lies.
Yeah, he did. He took all
Now he's
that.
telling the truth, and it's like, well, hey, look, I was lying all that bullshit before, and Doge, yeah, but that bullshit he just did, I can't rock with. So like, he's gonna get people, right? And I'm not. It
Even though
don't need to be hard.
He made Gronk a raging anti-Semite. Did you see that?
No,
It's like a raging anti-Semite. His
for
AI,
real.
his AI Chat GPT, version Gronk. I don't know if you saw it. Like he
Nah,
made
that's it.
he made some tweaks to it. This dude is a full out anti-Semite. Like yo, when you get a chance, look it up. I don't want to deviate too much because you bringing it home with some good points there, but that's crazy. You got
Yeah,
to.
I think the environment is going to be right for that kind of split. There's no way, like, number one, I like even if the establishment Democrats, some of them will stay, obviously, because we we can deal with that, right? We
Yeah.
can deal with the establishment Democrats. They at least do prop up some decent policy every now and then. The Republicans just don't.
They don't.
There is zero policy conversation from the Republicans.
Especially now with this era with Trump. I mean, Trump knows nothing about politics. He's not intellectually curious. He is just a buffoon.
He out here telling the bro from Liberia he speak great English. Like English isn't their national English isn't even America's national language.
No, it's not. 'Cause we're not. We don't have an official language here because we're a land full of immigrants. That's only one
So so
language.
so Their language is English. That's like
But
telling
the
a youngin from Brooklyn,
colonizers,
you speak wonderful English.
we used to colonize over there years ago in
We
like
sent slaves over there and they colonized that joint.
colonized that joint. That's why they speak English. And he's like, "You speak so beautifully.
Where'd you learn that?
Where'd you learn it?"
Oh, what?
And then you saw how his dumb ass was just burying himself to the point it started getting weird. And he started to say, "Well, it sounds, but I haven't sound. Nobody sounds this good. Yeah, I don't know. It's as if." And you started hearing him like, "Oh wow, he's getting ready to say like this dude. How do you sound like this? Who taught you to speak this way? You black gorilla? Like who? Like that's almost how the question was like when he was
This
asking. He
this
was
an
saying the
educated
same thing.
Negro.
Like you even see what he did with the woman. She was from Africa, from his delegation when he was in the White House. The black beautiful African woman that was next to him. He was like, "Wow, you're beautiful.
No, he
Don't
did it.
you see that? But you're beautiful." And then looks at the guy from, "Oh, this is so beautiful. Why did you speak so eloquently? I have guys on here who can't speak that way. You do, really?" And it's like, yo, you can see his people like, "Oh my god,
That's because Trump is also a dumbass.
he is a."
And I don't think he's all the way there.
He is a dude. It's to the point now. He doesn't even answer questions no more.
Yeah,
Like,
cognitive
it's,
decline is what I like to call it.
yeah, like okay, I heard a lot of people saying it. A lot of guns, a lot of weapons. It's crazy. It's radical. Communist loser. Next question. Like what?
The
Like
real nasty people.
when he asked that when he was at Alligator Alcatraz last week when he was asked about communist no not about Zoran Waldami. He was asked how many people how long are people going to stay at Alligator Alcatraz, any type of inmate. You heard his answer.
No.
He said, "Oh yeah, Florida's my home. I love Florida. I'm gonna stay in Florida as long as I need to stay in Florida. I have friends here." Like he literally thought, because he's such a narcissist, that he thought the question was, "How long are you going to stay in Florida?" Not how. And the inmate, not the inmate, the reporter asks, "How long is an inmate or how long is a migrant going to stay at Alligator
I
Alcatraz?"
was thinking about going to Mar-a-Lago,
And
man.
he's like, he just went all, "I'll stay here for a while. I'll be here for a while. I love Florida. It's my home." And it's like, yo, it's like this Trump sane washing that we do because any other president sounded like he sounded, they would be pulling out, they would have an emergency cabinet meeting talking about the 25th Amendment because this man is clearly on cognitive decline.
He's clearly I'm not sure he's making the decisions at the White House.
Ooh, did you say that? What's that thing they do now when they talk like this? Did I say that?
Yeah. I'm not sure he making the decisions at the White House. I think they got him for the little hours they got him at the dumbass cabinet meetings. You
Just,
know what I'm saying? At
I
his
think
little
a lot of
press
times,
conferences, and that's it.
I think a lot of times he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't, you know, the governing part, he hates governing.
He
Like
doesn't govern.
it's so funny. On I think it was February 18th. What did he say? Uh, Ukraine should have never started it. February 28th, 10 days later, young Nat Zelensky in the office. You don't have none of the cards. Till what? Yesterday or July 9th,
Putin pissing him off.
giving us all kinds of bullshit. Like come at you fast. He hates governing. Like he's like, what? Just do what I say. Just
Yeah, like why can't I just experience what I thought should be the opulence of the American power?
it's it.
That's what he wants. He's
All he
looking.
wants the
Yeah,
opulence. Perfect. You on fire tonight.
that's it. That's all he wants
That's all he wants.
is the prestige that comes with it. And he thought it would gain him respect and admiration. And it's like now he's just like getting messed with all the time.
You know
The
what's
man has zero ideas. Republicans have zero ideas besides taking away whatever progress Democrats have given.
you know what's so crazy? And we can wrap this up. But I think it's crazy to say this, but even with Donald Trump, obviously this isn't. He's a narcissist. He's somebody that he's not. I don't think there's a lot of saving. But for some kind of reason, because of the American people and how we are in terms of, I mean, remember, this is the same man that mismanaged the pandemic and got reelected. You know what I'm saying? Just did a terrible job with the pandemic. Then, it was just, it was just terrible, whatever. But it's so amazing that, let's say, for instance, for some kind of way, he found some moral clarity, and he
Mm.
just all of a sudden said, "Wow, what have I been doing?" And just turn everything around. He would be able to go down as one, like, he could go down as one of the great presidents. Just turned everything around. Now, obviously, what's annoying about it, how most Americans are, they'll forget all that other shit if he decided to say, you know what? How about I just start campaigning for Medicare for all? How about if I just start campaigning, or at least say, this is what I support. Let's do it. Let's change it. If he did stuff like that, he can actually bring people back to him, which is crazy. Nothing should bring him back. Nothing should redeem him. But even then, if he was some kind of reason was to go and say, you know what? How can I get people to like me? How can I get people to galvanize? If he won all populism, imagine if he really all of a sudden just made some Bernie Sanders
Was actually a populist.
and was actually a populist. He, he will transform his reputation overnight. And
Yeah.
he cannot even get shit done. It's just because of his rhetoric says it. And to me, I hope that, gosh, that's not what he tries. Because I don't think he'll do it, but it doesn't surprise me if he would try to go back to that, especially at the end of his presidency, to try to bring some, you know, uh, better approval numbers.
I mean, if he gets some of these wars closed off and a deal in Gaza and Iran back at the table, I I think he might need that Nobel
But he,
Peace Prize,
but
man.
the thing is, at the end of the day, like, he's the one that makes the conflict, fixes it, and now he gonna get no.
That's the American way. America is a giant fucking racket. We go to countries and be like, man, this is a nice country you have here. Sure, be messed up if someone bombed it, but we can protect you from that. That's what America is. American government is a giant racket, bro.
Imperialistic giant imperialistic racket. That's what
It
it
is
is.
an imperialistic racket.
Racket.
That's
That's
exactly what
what
it
it is.
is.
Anywhere we go, if we just, well, we can do it.
That's why the Democrats are
We can
culpable
take care
because
of it.
we know they're in on it.
Here's $4 billion too to subsidize your health care, Israel, while we get ours
Right.
cut here.
And you know how the Republicans go, they go, oh, well, government's bad at doing everything and they're not efficient. Then make it efficient.
Well, how about this? Stop fucking breaking it. That's what they do. Republicans break government, then they complain that it doesn't work. But they break.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you go, oh, well,
That's
Canada's got the
always been
same
there.
healthcare. It's like they got healthcare. We're arguing the difference between not the difference between having and not having. It'd be one thing if we were arguing about whose healthcare was the better quality. We're talking about niggas not having it.
And think about their argument. The argument is the reason why this is all bad. That, so to the fact now, according to the actual, I think they said one number was saying like more than 12 million people, maybe. Some people are saying either between 12 and 17 that
Yeah, that's
lose
what I
their
keep
health
hearing.
care. But they were able to make people think that the 1.3 million undocumented that are on it means that everybody it has to be reformed across the board. That will cause 17 million people to lose it.
And as a progressive, I don't care if they get healthcare.
I don't care either.
I don't care if people
I don't
on
care if they
food
coming
stamps.
illegally. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't care if they're legal or legal if they get healthcare. I don't care if people that are. I don't care if people that are. If people buy crab legs on their goddamn food stamps. I don't
Don't
care.
care.
I
Don't
don't
care.
give a damn.
Don't care what they do.
If
Do
I live in the greatest country in the world, people shouldn't be hungry.
that's that's
People shouldn't be
that
sleeping on the
that's
street.
ran. If How about this? If we live in the richest country in the world that is ran off our tax dollars, and the words of my man Deontay, I think it's Deontay Kyle,
Yeah.
why am I not eating?
Yeah, why am I hungry? What
Why am I hungry? That's what they say. Why am I
are you
hungry?
telling me that all I can pay for is bombs? That's all my taxes can afford?
Shout out to Eggs and Grits podcast.
Yeah, shout out to
Exactly.
the Eggs and Grits podcast. Deontay on a roll right now.
He is. He is. I like that dude a lot. He comes from a very cerebral place where he be speaking,
Yeah.
man, for real. Very cerebral place. But like you said, if it's ran by taxpayer dollars, this country, why am I hungry and why I can't eat?
And why can't I be happy that a undocumented person eats?
Because but see, that's the whole thing. The Republican mantra. They want to convince you by giving somebody else something, giving something like health care, food, whatever, some kind of way that means that it's taken away from somewhere else. Like it's a zero sum game. And that's how they constantly always use their propaganda rhetoric. If somebody's getting something here, it clearly means it's taken away from somebody here, which is the biggest crock of bullshit ever, but it works and it's effective.
And it only works because people have been in pain in America for so long. People have been
Exactly.
poor for so long.
And because
It's,
the Democrat Party has failed them and the Republican Party has failed them, they be like, well, some got to be going wild. My life
and
sucks.
you know what? I don't like being that gentle on the Democratic Party. They didn't fail them. They're in on the plot.
Oh, you know what? Well, yeah, they failed them in terms
They're
of
not failing.
I
It's
mean,
what
yeah,
they
yeah.
the Democratic Party is
Or
what the
morally,
Democrats want it to look like.
yeah, or you can say they morally. Well, yeah, you can say morally failed, but you're right. They didn't
It's
fail.
their mission. What's happening now is what they want.
Status quo,
They want the status quo.
austerity policies because those policies that Zoran Mandami is speaking is completely the opposite of any type of corporate agenda, special interest agenda that usually funds their campaigns and therefore funds their ideology and their policy wise. Even though they do, like the infrastructure bill, they'll say policies that were touted. But do you realize that most of it went for most of the money with the corporations and they're going to figure out how to roll out these projects? You know what I'm saying? Once again, giving a corporate handout. When they said we negotiated with Medicaid on 10 drugs, they didn't say negotiate on Medicaid on 10 drugs that won't go into effect till like 2029. You know, like they do things like that. And when legacy media will talk, oh, you see Joe Biden with the Chips and Science Act. The Chips and Science Act, Dale got $20 billion off the Chips and Science Act. You know what they did immediately after that? Laid off almost 50,000 people. I think it was.
Brought some stock back,
It bought stock
stock
backs
buybacks.
let me say they laid off thousands of people. I can't remember the exact number and bought stock buyback. Gave him $20 billion to Dale from the Chips and Science Act that was supposed to go to chips and creating more jobs through through AI and automation.
And you gonna tell me that they didn't know that was gonna happen?
Come on, man. Like, and see, that's what
Which is why I don't like being gentle. They're not bad at messaging, right? You
they're
and
corrupt.
I are not the most educated people in the world, which Democrats can afford, right? Everybody knows that, hey, these Democrats aren't winning. It's because they're not messaging.
They don't
They're,
want.
they're doing exactly what they wanted to do.
You don't want to.
No, everything can stay still. Things can get a little worse. We'll look like the heroes in 2 years. No, 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 no,
And,
no.
and that's
They
and that's
didn't
over.
fail us.
I'm
They
telling you.
put us here because they want us here.
And now it's like you done pissed the people off, and you got all these cat. You got to see, even I love the comments when you got these people like Danny Deutsch and them talking about on Morning Joe. I need to. I reached out to him. I wanted him to sit down and debate me because Jews all through New York City are just terrified about this man. Where okay, it's see once again, it's like guys, and I think why it's not that nobody's buying that bullshit because of the fact that Jewish people is the New York City is the most population, it's the highest Jewish population in the country. First and foremost, second of all, there's thousands of Jewish people who come out and said they voted for him, and on top of that, the gentleman Brad Lander, who finished, I think it was second or third to him in the
The
rank.
Jewish guy?
Yes, he's Jewish. The
Yeah, the Jewish guy is like, yo, y'all gotta chill on my boy. He's not an anti-Semite.
But the fact of the matter is, all the legacy media would sit there like this morning acting and say, "Well, we gotta, we have to
Well,
sit."
that Jewish people voted for him.
Man, it's ridiculous,
The
man.
man's building coalitions, and the Democratic Party don't give a fuck. And we acting like it's because it's they just don't know better and they have a bad messaging issue. No, it's intentional.
It's intentional. It's intentional.
They're in on the racket, just like the Republicans are.
Like, and even if you think about, like, when they have these fights in terms of the House, oh, they have 10 holdouts, and somebody says, I'm not voting, or I'm not. It's just all fucking theater. And then when they have like
Yes.
person like Susan Collins that votes no, it's like, all right, well, who's going to be the one that's going to vote no, so we can at least say that one of us had our voted with our conscience. It's almost like it's all just a game. It's just a big game that they play, and guess what? The game about to be on them. Okay, they done pissed the people off too much more. MAGA has taken over the Republicans, and now we about to have the Democratic social. If you want to call us, we
Well,
got
we
to.
say New York is falling. It's already in
And
play.
you have people
They
that were
can't
saying,
do it. They can't do nothing about it.
and
And the Democrats don't have to be smart. They just gotta get people in the street.
that's it, man. It was so funny too. And we're going this guy was talking. People say, well, the people always want to say, New York City politics goes rest of the whole country. And it's like they say, oh, that's crap. Now people have said it before. Now they're saying that's crap. So you're telling me that working class policies don't resonate across the entire country?
It
You see
does.
policies as this, as affordable universal pre-K, affordable housing, Medicare for all, higher minimum wage increases. This stuff won't resonate across the working class in middle America. Are you shitting me? Like what? And to hear every time I hear somebody says that, I want to like get a fork and like pluck my eyes out because it's like we all have one thing in common. We are all, the 99% of us are the working class. And any policies that go to benefit us, if it's effective and the messaging is there and people are seeing that he's trying to help people, oh, it'll resonate. Even for Republican, if a Republican say, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm going populist too, and I mean it. And I'm a Republican. Man, he'll get so much support from the base. Now you'll hear, Fox News will call him a communist or a rhino and all that kind of crap.
Republican in name
Yeah, they'll
only.
call him a
I
rhino.
saw that earlier. That really trips me out.
A rhino. That's perfect. They pissed me off, and that's the perfect
Yeah.
way to end this joint. They
They
pissed me.
did, man. They pissed me off last week.
Let them piss you off some more because you was on fire today. That's the thing we need. We need that energy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's like even when I talk to these right wingers on social media, it's like y'all gonna get this energy all day. Y'all want to run your mouth all day, but maybe we say something back. Oh, how dare you? Where's your civility? Oh,
Oh, or did you see the other day when Tiffany Cross was talking about normalizing the ICE kidnapping? Hey, you gonna tell me to keep the rhetoric down?
or
We've
say
been
like
deporting people for
that's what
tons of
I'm saying.
years.
Crazy, and I like what she said too. Like we have to stop acting as if racism and bigotry and all these that are like proper political discourse. Cause they want to act like this is like
It's a matter of opinion, perspective. You just don't understand that side.
what hateful bigotry. There's a perspective to
Yeah,
it.
that's something we need to conversate on. Which is why the establishment is losing, because this generation does not do that.
All they know is fight.
Yeah, all they know is
Always
beef.
fight.
Everyone's an up. It's up. That's all they know.
It's
You
up with
hear it in your kids when
it's
your kids talk. That's
the
all they
moment. It's
know.
up with these youngins.
Yeah, it's up. These young, it's up with them.
That was a good point, man. Because it's been if you've been around for 10 years with this, and you 10, 11, 12 years old,
All you know is fight.
so all you know is like, yo, we gotta have the same energy that these bastards.
Yeah, and
Why
they're not talking to us nicely.
when Dami won, run for
Yeah.
got 4,000 new applicants, young people running for office in state and local levels. It's awesome, man. It's awesome, yo. And
Yeah.
what else is awesome? It's ending this podcast. on this episode because of the fact that we've been gonna let y'all.
We can talk on
I know, but
that.
like, according to the numbers, y'all listening. We go a little bit. This is what an hour 20, hour 30, but good. We make sure it's entertainable and it's factual.
Yeah.
Hey, anything in me upon saying that we may have opinions, but when we talk about these facts and these stories, it's facts.
It's what's happening.
It's what's happening. We ain't got time, for lying and propaganda. We ain't doing none of that over here.
Yeah.
And also if we saying that a Republican may have a point, also don't mean that we're a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Republicans don't ever have any, especially now. It's hard to say Republicans have a fair point on anything after
It's
what
so hard.
is. This is no way. Like I don't care anything that you tell me about any, like even these Russia. I guess they're talking about they're getting bipartisan support about the Russia sanctions. None of that matters. You are all losers. All right, man, we going. Thank y'all for listening, man. This has been the Correctly Mistaken podcast, bro. It's your boy Osei and the superstar who was hot today. Hot.
Appreciate that, brother.
I mean, we got to clip. We got to clip these clips.
Yeah, we gotta start clipping this.
We got to start clipping it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post this one on YouTube. I post our first episode on YouTube.
Oh, for real?
One since. I just haven't. I'm gonna do this one tonight. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna try to do some hashtags, some different stuff to see if we can get it out there because you set a bar, especially the one of what was the culture wars.
Outside of the culture wars, we
Outside
all
of the culture war, we all want the same thing. I think that's that line, man, because it's only the culture wars that keep us divided. When you
and
go,
truthfully, if we were doing well, if everyone was doing well, the culture probably people would there would be very little culturally we wouldn't agree on.
they be
If
like, well,
everybody could eat and buy a home that they'd be like, oh,
yeah,
I don't want immigrants to do it, we wouldn't care.
who cares? Because we got a home too.
Yeah, I got my stuff and the taxes that I pay for pays for all that other goofy stuff. That's fine.
We're good. Everybody's living good. Ain't talking about what somebody has, what I don't have. And that's what we
Yeah.
talk about when you bring everybody up. A rising tide raises all ships. If you bring everybody up, my man Mike Lee's always his favorite point. He would say that junk all the time, yo. Remember Mike Lee? A rising tide raises all ships. Every time somebody says that, I think about my man Mike Lee. Shout out to Mike Lee. Every time I think about that, or somebody says it, I think about him. But that's so true, man. That is so true, man. But we out of here, y'all. See, we went again for another couple minutes. Oh, man, we really gone this time, man. Appreciate you guys. The numbers are growing. We thank you. We'll be back again next week. Until then, it's your boy Osei, alongside my man Punch. It's Correctly Mistaken. Y'all be blessed. Have a good week, y'all. Peace.